Few people understood the zeitgeist of modernism more than C.S. Lewis. Zeitgeist is a German word that means spirit of the age. And Lewis explains that the spirit of the modern age is a spirit of relativism. There are no longer any transcendent standards of the good, the true, and the beautiful. Everything is relative in the eye of the beholder. Lewis wrote a book called The Abolition of Man, a book that should be required reading for all educators. And what Lewis does in that book is shows what happens when educators throw out all standards, not only of beauty and evil, beauty and ugliness, but of good and evil, right and wrong. Lewis begins this rather difficult but challenging, difficult book by telling a story of two people that are visiting the Alps and they see a waterfall. And one says, "That waterfall's sublime." The other one says, "Beautiful." Now, they happen to be overwatched by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, the great romantic poet, and Coleridge agreed with the one who said the waterfall was sublime and disagreed with the one who called it beautiful. The writers of this textbook that Lewis critiques in The Abolition of Man say that Coleridge is wrong, that the waterfall is whatever the viewer thinks it is. This sounds obvious to many people. Of course, beauty is just a matter of taste. But what's happened in the modern zeitgeist is we have extended that everywhere. So anything having to do with goodness or truth or beauty is up for grabs. It is not scientific. It is not a fact. It is merely a value. This is very dangerous because we cannot train people to be virtuous, good people unless we can present to them virtues as real things. If they're just in the eye of the beholder and shift from one person to another, then how are we going to convince anyone to follow those virtues? And yet, even as we say that all things are relative, we get shocked and horrified and indignant when, say, one of our students plagiarizes. But if our student says, "What's wrong with plagiarizing?" if we're not allowed to say plagiarizing is wrong, that it violates a moral ethical code, then all we can say is plagiarism is wrong because I say it is. Here's the problem Lewis says in the most famous line from The Abolition of Man. He says, in a sort of ghastly simplicity, we remove the organ and demand the function. We make men without chest, without any sense of honor or courage, and we expect of them virtue and enterprise. We ridicule and laugh at honor, and then we're shocked to find traitors in our midst. We castrate and bid the geldings be fruitful. We teach our students that there is no right and wrong, and then we are shocked when they plagiarize. We shouldn't be shocked when they plagiarize. We should be shocked when they don't, because when they do plagiarize, they are following the spirit of the age.